Hello everyone. Today we're gonna be checking out a clip from Uncensored America, and this will be with Myron Gaines. Now keep in mind, I do know who Myron Gaines is. I've watched a lot of clips about him. Now, while I do agree with pretty much most of the thing he says, I also disagree with some of the things. So that's just my stand on him. But let's get started and let's check out the clip.
Hey, hi. Would you like to have an actual conversation?
This is fucking awesome. All right, what are you gonna say? Go ahead.
All right, here. I'm here to have an actual debate with you, okay? I'm not
Sure.
here. I'm not here to antagonize you or villainize you. I want to understand you, and I hope maybe you'd want to understand me. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
So what I want to understand is your viewpoint that women deserve less, or that you think men deserve more?
Well, two things can be true, right?
Okay.
So, I think guys need to be in a position where they are the dominant and the leader in the relationship.
So I would like to understand why exactly do you think that? Is it what is causing this? Is it like an instinctual thing? Do you think it's based off biology, psychology?
What in
religion,
particular?
belief? Like the idea that the man should be dominant. What is the backing thought process for this?
Well, it's how society has thrived for centuries. You know, the man is the head of the household. He's a leader. He protects and provisions, and this is how we've been able to build up the society we enjoy now. And it's only with modernity and feminism that women have been able to kind of do the things that they do. But at the end of the day, I would argue most women want a traditional man who's going to be a provider, going to be a protector, and adhere to these traditional masculine traits.
Now, with the last point here, I completely agree with that one. I also think that's what most women generally like and want. Now, keep in mind, the first point about women deserving less is usually just meant kind of as like trigger words. So, what he usually means with this is just that these days, a lot of women have too much privilege without actually having to work for it or without actually having to do anything to get it. So, that's just what he means. He's not saying that women don't deserve anything at all.
Okay, so let me ask you a question about this, sir, if you don't mind. So,
Sure.
what would you say that over time, generally speaking, with how society has come, how culture has come, to where we are at this current point, are you content with how the world is today? With society, are you happy with how society has turned out? What exactly do you have any issues with modern society?
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's pluses and negatives, but I
course.
do think that modernity has led to the overall degradation of society. And it's because we don't prioritize the family anymore.
So is the issue less that women deserve less, or that we should put more of a focus on traditionalism within the family?
Well, that's kind of the same thing from before. Again, men need to be in a different position now where they need to be able to vet out women properly for them to be their wives. Because the thing that sucks for guys now is that most women want to be married, but they're not necessarily wife material. Everyone wants to get married, but no one wants to be a wife is basically what I mean. So I think, well, you're a lesbian. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway,
Okay, so what he's saying here, guys, actually makes a lot of sense. He's basically saying that these days men are not the traditional masculine men that they once were, and this is causing some issues in relationships and marriage. And it makes a lot of sense if you look at the stats. These days, I think either 50% or even more than 50% are getting divorced. And in those divorces, it's the woman initiating the divorce 80% of the time. Now, these statistics are completely crazy. So I get what he means here and I get his point. And let's just continue and see what people are talking about.
anyway, so yeah, that's what I think it is. Guys need to really focus on the family, but before they can even do that, they need to be able to go in with their eyes wide open with how society is and how we're playing the dating game, because we have more to lose.
Okay, so I understand where you're coming from.
Sure.
I think it makes sense that you would like to have, women would be able to be mothers, would ever be able to be wives. If a man is being a provider, clearly you would want something in return, right? I mean, like.
Yeah, to obey me.
Oh, I don't. If you want people to hear you out, I don't really think obey would be the best word to use. I mean, like, obey kind of implies that there's a lack of free will and thought. Would you think?
Interesting. So you say there's a lack of free will there, but is there, I mean,
with the term obey, like the connotation that it provides when you say the word obey.
yeah, because here's the thing. I find it interesting that on my end, I'm protecting and providing, And
Yeah.
the one thing I ask in return is for her to obey, but that's a problem. See, that's
Well,
that's.
I didn't say it was a
Because here's the thing.
problem.
Hey, let's be honest here, right? So this is what I mean when I say modern feminism poisons women. Women want a guy who's going to be a protector and a provider and a good man. But if he
Yeah.
asks, hey, I need you to obey me in return, she'll say, I don't like that word. Why do I need to obey you? Well,
Well,
you need to obey me because I'm the one that's responsible for you. So if I'm responsible for you, that means I'm supposed to have authority over you as well.
Yeah, so this makes a lot of sense. He's basically saying that if you want a traditional relationship, which he thinks is the best one, then of course you have to go by the traditional roles, which is that the man will lead the relationship and the woman will follow him. So, of course, if that is something you want, you should also follow that. You cannot just say you want it and then just do whatever you want. That's not how it works. So, he's simply pointing out that if that is something you desire and want, then you should also do as it is supposed to be. Now, of course, anyone can choose whatever they want in their relationship, but it's a little weird to say you want a traditional one if you're not even gonna do as it is. So that's basically his point here, and I'm kind of excited to see what she wanna say. So let's just go ahead and continue watching.
Well, if you would like to have a conversation without putting words in my mouth, where I said that I had a problem with the term like obeying people, I just said that if you want other people to agree with you, maybe find a different term that would, kind of incline people to agree. Secondly,
Well, that's the problem. People
I-
are too soft. That's the truth. We need women to obey us.
says the guy who's here complaining about women.
No, I said women need to obey men. I'm saying the problem is that we have this society where people just don't want to be honest and say what it is.
But I'm being honest and telling you that people don't like the word obey.
Okay. Oh, well.
Unfortunately, what she's showing here is what a lot of these left individuals do. Usually, they will get so mad and emotional over some words and not really trying to understand what the point behind it is. As you can see here, she's already getting upset and she's shouting at him because he used the word obey. Now, if you understood the entire context, you would understand why he uses the word obey, but for her, that word is not what she likes, so she's gonna get upset and emotional about it. So, unfortunately, this is what a lot of the left is like these days. Of course, not everyone, but in almost all of the clips I see on YouTube, it is always like this.
Okay.
Like,
oh, well.
I
People
find
don't
it
like
interesting, right? So a lot of people think I just talk smack to women all the time, but I actually talk more smack. Anyone that watches the show, I actually talk more smack to men. I
Oh,
tell
that's
them to
so
not be
chivalrous
fat,
of you.
not to be losers, not to be dorks. Like, I bully the guys so that they become better. And men kind of accept this. But when we say we want something in return, women don't want to follow it. So it's like women have one job and they don't even want to do that.
Well, have you considered that maybe women don't want your help?
Well, here's the thing. I'm here to help the guys out because they're the leaders. So
Well,
I-
that's fine, but
I'm very familiar with the fact that like women, like if they hear a certain word, they get triggered and they can't listen to anything else. But again, that's an inherent flaw in women because they're so emotional. But the reality is like as a woman, if you're in a relationship with a guy and he's doing what he's supposed to do, protect and provide for you, you need to obey him.
So wait, okay, you have a problem with women being overly emotional, yet you want them to be providers to children. That implies that there needs to be some type of emotional nurture there. So is the problem that women are too emotional or that they're not emotional enough?
No, what I'm talking about is in this context where the term obey immediately triggered you.
I'm not triggered.
Okay.
Do I look angry?
Yes, you do look angry, especially when you're shouting because of a certain word. Now, keep in mind, he's speaking in general. He's not saying everyone is like this. So if you're not like that, that's great. But he's just speaking in general. Now, keep in mind, as he also mentioned, he's actually saying more shit about guys than about women. Because he's trying to help out the guys. And for most guys, I think they handle criticism very well. So even if they're told that they're losers, they're fat, stuff like this, they need to go to the gym, most of them will actually listen to it and they might do something to change it. But if we say it to the other ones, there might be some issues. And this is also another thing that we see these days. In guy groups, it's normal if they have the fat friend, the guys will tell him, oh, you need to go to the gym, you look fat and this stuff. But in some women groups, it will be like, oh no, you're so beautiful still, don't listen to others, all this kind of stuff. So that's why he's saying what he's saying.
No. Well, you didn't like that term. You're like, hey, well, maybe you could use a different word. It's like, no, that's what it is. Obey.
I didn't say that. I was bothered by the word. I was just trying to give you some advice that maybe other people would be more inclined to listen if you didn't come off so authoritative.
Well, I think that's important where we're at a crazy point right now where we just got to start being honest and not tone police and worry about certain phrases triggering people. You know, the truth hurts a lot of the times, but this is what we need to do. We've gone so far left that we're going to need a significant overcorrection, and sometimes that means using words that people might find offensive.
Okay. So, all right, I understand what you're saying, that we shouldn't, be so protective, right?
Yeah, and the other thing, too, with
But
men,
you
I've
want to
noticed...
protect women, so you don't want them to be protective.
No, what I'm saying is that with men, right, when I say the term obey, guys just get it. They don't get offended by... this is actually a phenomenon I've noticed only with women. Like, when I tell guys stuff and I speak very direct, they don't care. They just consume the information. Okay, that makes sense, and move on. They're not really too concerned with how it's said or the terms that are used. But with women, a lot of the times, if I don't use certain terms or speak in a certain tone, they get offended and can't take in the information. And I think if women were a bit more receptive to the direct nature of the things I say, they'd be a lot better off because I'm very honest about it.
Yeah, so this is a huge difference between men and women. Now, this is how it is for most. I'm not saying for all, but for most, it will be like this. When you have a talk with your guy friends, or if you have a talk with female friends, you're gonna see a big difference in how they perceive things and also how they respond. So that's why for some people it's easier to speak to one or the other gender. And it makes sense. It's just biologically like this. Obviously not everyone, but in general, this is how it is.
It sounds like men tend to obey you more than women.
Well, I mean, if they listen to what I say, they'll probably do pretty well in life, yeah.
If you want someone to obey you, why don't you just go with guys?
That's a good one.
I'm just a genuine question. Why do you care so much about women if, like, the men are listening to you just as is? You're trying to do a thing for the men, right? Do them a favor, help them out. Women aren't asking you for any help.
Yeah, no, I know that's why I focus on the guys because they're not emotionally
Then why
triggered.
are you here talking about women?
Because that is a big obstacle that a lot of guys can't fix. They can't.
Then
Basically,
why are you trying to fix it?
because if we don't have women, we don't have the nuclear family, and a lot of guys struggle with this.
So I don't know if you noticed, but take a look at how passive aggressive she is right now. She's saying, oh, she's just want to know the truth and she's in good faith. But actually, she's trying to ridicule him and trying to say that he's stuff that he's not actually saying. So this is unfortunately a big problem that I've seen in interviews with the left. Usually they will go towards some kind of personal attacks or this passive aggressive energy.
Now, here's the thing. I understand that you might be in a privileged position where dating and getting men to court you isn't that hard, but for average guys, it's not that easy. So
Well,
a
I
lot
don't
of guys
need
need to
anyone
learn
to
this
court
stuff.
me. I'm not looking for that. There's more to my life than worrying about what the other sex does.
Okay, well, you have that privilege since you're a woman and the men come to you. But
They
men
don't
need to
come
figure
to
this
me.
stuff out.
I came to you to talk to you.
Again.
Did you come to me? I don't think
no,
so.
No, but this is us having a discussion here. What I'm saying is that, like, you're maybe
What?
like a 3 or 4. So, like, you're going to have
Okay.
more market pull, right, than a guy that's like a 7 or an 8. You're going to have more options than the average guy. So for you, right, you're getting an abundance of options, whereas guys are not going to get that same level. So, and the other thing, too, with women is women are just simply better at dealing with the opposite gender. Men need to learn this stuff. Guys don't kind of come out understanding female nature. They have to learn this stuff either through someone teaching them or
I
through
don't think I took a
losses.
crash course on how men work.
I'm sorry?
I didn't take a crash course on how men work. Why do men need to take a crash course on women?
Okay, so just before we get to the next bit real quick, I just want to point out his point here. What he's saying is that for an average guy and an average girl, the girl will have much more chances because she doesn't really have to do anything because most likely the guy will approach her. So that's just his point here. So if you're a guy and you're average, maybe you're a little awkward and stuff, you don't really get any chances. That's his point here. But if you're a girl, you will get many chances. So that's just his point. I don't think mentioning her looks, I think it's kind of irrelevant here. So I don't know why he did it, but I think he just wanted to be completely honest and tell his opinion on it. So just to prove his point, right? So let's just keep watching and see what her response is. I think the clip will be done soon. So let's see.
Because men, here's the thing, men have to build up the attraction and approach the women. They're the ones that got to make things happen. Women don't. You guys are in a privileged position where the men just come to you.
So you
But,
guys are stupid, basically.
I mean, if that's the conclusion you're going to come to, I
No,
guess.
that was a question. That wasn't a conclusion. It was a question.
No, it's a learned skill that they need to develop to learn how to properly deal with women. So
Why
that
do
they
you
don't
need to
end
learn
up-
how to deal with people?
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I teach guys to avoid women like you, as a matter of fact.
Thank you. Stay away
Yeah,
from me.
yeah. Well, I don't know. You should be in the kitchen somewhere, but it's fine. We'll have this discussion. Yeah, the reality is, What was that? Yes. Probably
I've
can't
not
cook either.
insulted you once this entire time.
Okay, so this part was kind of funny. I don't know if he meant that or if he was just joking, but the point that he says he teaches guys to avoid girls like her, I wanna agree with this one. She's really argumentative. She's really passive aggressive, and I think if you're dating a girl like her, you're gonna become quite annoyed, and also I don't think it will be a good relationship for you. But you can do whatever you want. That's just my opinion on this. But notice how what she's doing is she's trying to ask him these questions to make him look bad, even though she understands what he actually means. But she's trying to twist it to make it sound like he's the bad guy here and trying to make him look like something that he's not.
See, this is precisely the problem. Combative, assertive women that, don't want to necessarily obey or know when to, be quiet when I'm making
Who
a
the
point.
fuck are you to tell me to obey you? I'm
Yeah,
not
she's
your
really pissed.
woman. I don't need to obey you. I'm not in a relationship with you. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. I don't need to obey you.
Well, you're
under
just kind of
underneath.
just talking over me when I make my point or answer your questions or trying to, instigate some type of reaction, which is cool. I think it's funny. It's interesting. But
Well,
I
aren't
think,
you instigating a reaction
Yeah.
by being here on a campus with people who are more or less going to have different...
well, I'm just telling the uncomfortable truth that a lot of people don't want to hear.
Now there's only about 1 or 2 minutes left of the clip, and it's basically just an ending going towards a new person. So I think we'll just cut it here, and then I wanna thank you guys for watching the video, and I really hope you enjoyed this. Just some last thoughts real quick. You can see now her true colors are coming out. She's becoming really aggressive, and she's really not even the passive anymore. She's becoming really aggressive, and this was her whole personality since the start, but she was just trying to hide it. Now, I really hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and thank you so much for watching.